Every single day, millions of people wake up, trapped. Not trapped in cages. Not locked in cells. But trapped in fear. They fear failure. They fear judgment. They fear not being enough. And that fear, that silent enemy, kills more dreams than failure ever could. You see, fear doesn't stop you from dying, it stops you from living. Most people will go to their graves never knowing what they could have become. Because fear whispered, "Don't try." Fear said, "Play it safe." Fear told them, "You're not ready." But I came to tell you today. You are ready. You've been ready. You were born ready to rise. The problem isn't your potential. The problem is your permission. You've been waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to dream big. It's okay to take the leap. It's okay to fail, to fall, to bleed, to try again. But listen, no one's coming to save you. No one's coming to hand you courage. Courage isn't given, it's forged. You forge it when you stand face to face with your fear and say, "Not today. Not this time. I'm done running." Fear will test you. It will whisper when you're about to start something new. Don't do it. It will scream when you're about to take a risk. What if you fail? But you gotta talk back. You gotta say, "What if I succeed? What if this is my moment? What if this risk changes everything?" You don't grow by staying safe. You grow by stepping into the unknown. Every great story, every hero, every legend, began with one decision, the decision to move forward despite fear. When you feel fear, that's not the signal to stop. That's the signal to go. Because fear only shows up when something important is on the line. So if you feel scared, congratulations. It means you're standing at the edge of something powerful. It means you're alive. But you can't just want it. You gotta fight for it. You gotta look in the mirror and face the person who's been holding you back. Because your greatest enemy isn't fear itself. It's you listening to it. You have two choices. You can live controlled by fear, or you can live fueled by it. The same energy that freezes you can free you. The same fear that breaks you can build you. You just have to decide. Do you want to exist? Or do you want to live? There comes a moment when you have to say, enough. Enough of playing small. Enough of second-guessing yourself. Enough of living for other people's approval. Because no one remembers the ones who played it safe. The world remembers the ones who dared. The ones who fell, bled, failed. And still stood back up. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. Courage means you do it anyway. So today, I want you to make a promise, not to me, but to yourself, that no matter what stands in your way, you'll move forward. That no matter how scared you are, you'll take the leap. That no matter how many times you fall, you'll rise again. Because that's what fearless people do. They rise. They fight. They live with fire. Fear is a liar. It doesn't come to protect you. It comes to control you. It shows up disguised as logic, as caution, as that little voice in your head that says, maybe now's not the right time. Maybe you should wait. Maybe you're not good enough. But listen, that's not logic. That's limitation. That's fear, trying to sound reasonable. You know what fear really wants? It wants you stuck. It wants you safe. It wants you average. Because fear feeds on comfort. As long as you stay inside that comfort zone, fear wins. But the moment you step out, the moment you say, "I'm doing this anyway," fear loses power. You've been lied to. You've been told that fear is a warning, a sign to stop. No. Fear is a signal to prepare. It's not a stop sign, it's a starting gun. When your heart races before you take a risk. That's not weakness. That's your body getting ready for greatness. The problem isn't fear. The problem is the story you attach to it. When you say, "I'm scared, so I can't," you lose. But when you say, "I'm scared, and I will," you become unstoppable. That's the difference between the ones who dream and the ones who do. Think about every great person you admire, the leaders, the innovators, the adventurers, the entrepreneurs. You think they weren't afraid? Of course they were. They just refused to listen to fear. They understood something most people never do: courage isn't the absence of fear. It's mastery over it. Fear says, "You might fail." Courage says, "But what if I fly?" Fear says, "You're not ready." Courage says, "I'll never be ready, but I'll start anyway." Fear says, "What will people think?" Courage says, "They'll think what they want. I'll live how I choose." That's the voice you must build inside you. That's your inner commander, the voice of your higher self. Let me tell you something powerful. Fear only controls those who let it live unquestioned. Every time you feel afraid, stop and ask, what exactly am I afraid of? What's the worst that can happen? Most of the time, the answer is nothing real. Fear paints pictures that don't exist. It tells stories that never happen. It locks you in imaginary prisons made of what ifs. What if I fail? What if I get rejected? What if it doesn't work? But here's the truth. You're already failing if you never try. You're already rejected if you reject yourself, and nothing will ever work if you don't start. So from today, when fear speaks, you speak louder. You say, "I hear you, but I'm not obeying you. I feel you, but I'm still moving forward. I'm scared, but I'm doing it anyway." Because every step you take through fear makes you stronger. Every risk you take in the face of doubt rebuilds your mindset. And every victory you earn through pain rewires your brain for courage. That's how champions are made. Not by removing fear, but by walking with it, dancing with it, dominating it. You can't run from fear. You can't hide from it. You must face it, again and again, until it bows to you. When you stop being afraid of fear, you start to live in total freedom. That's when risk becomes adventure. That's when failure becomes fuel. That's when life becomes limitless. Fear is a liar, and today, you just stopped believing its lies. From this moment on, you will not shrink. You will not hide. You will not let that voice win. Because you have awakened the truth, you are stronger than fear. You are greater than doubt. And you are just getting started. Doubt, it's the silent killer of dreams. It doesn't shout like fear. It whispers. It says, "Maybe you're not meant for this." It says, "You're too late." It says, "You don't have what it takes." But let me tell you something. Every person you admire today once heard those same words. The difference? They didn't let doubt have the final say. You see, doubt is not your enemy. It's your test. It's life asking you, how bad do you really want it? How much pain are you willing to push through? How long will you fight when nobody believes in you? Because doubt will come before every breakthrough. Always. When you're on the edge of something great, when you're about to change your life, that's when doubt hits hardest. It's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign you're close. So the next time doubt knocks, you look it in the eye and say, "Thank you, now I know I'm on the right path." Because the only people who don't doubt are the ones who've already given up. Listen to me. The voice in your head that says, "You're not enough," isn't the truth. It's a reflection of your past. It's every rejection, every failure, every disappointment, echoing inside your mind. But you are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the warrior who survived them. You are the fighter who refused to quit. You've been through too much to give up now. You've bled for this. You've cried for this. You've lost sleep for this. And after all that, you're still here. That means something. That means you're stronger than you think. You've got to learn to silence the noise. The world will doubt you. Your friends might doubt you. Sometimes even your own family won't see your vision. But their doubt doesn't define your destiny. You define it. You decide who you are. You decide what you're capable of. So when they say, "You can't," you say, "Watch me." When they say, "You'll fail," you say, "I'll learn." When they say, "You'll never make it," you smile and whisper, "I already did, in my mind." Because once you win the battle in your mind, the world has no chance against you. You've got to train your mind like a muscle. Feed it with belief. Fuel it with purpose. Push it through resistance. Every morning tell yourself, I am capable. I am focused. I am enough. And even when you don't feel it, say it anyway, because repetition builds reality. You are building the mind of a warrior. And warriors don't quit. They bleed. They cry. They fall. But they never stay down. You've got to be that kind of person. The kind who gets hit and keeps moving. Who loses and learns. Who doubts but still does. Doubt may visit you, but don't let it unpack. Let it come, but don't let it stay. Every time doubt says, you can't, use it as fuel to prove you can. Every time fear says, stop, use it as fire to go further. Every obstacle is not there to block you. It's there to reveal you, to show you what you're made of. The mind of the brave isn't built in comfort. It's built in chaos. It's built in pain. It's built in the dark, when no one is watching. So keep going. Keep fighting. Keep believing, even when no one else does. Because one day, the same people who doubted you will tell everyone how they knew you'd make it. So rise above doubt. Rise above fear. Rise above every voice that ever told you no. Because the truth is, you are the answer to your own question. You are the proof that it's possible. You are the one the world's been waiting for. Now stand tall. Breathe deep. And say it with me. I am unstoppable. I am fearless. I am free. Let's talk about risk. Most people hear that word and run the other way. They think, risk means danger. But listen carefully, risk doesn't mean danger. Risk means possibility. Every dream, every goal, every breakthrough, it's built on risk. The risk to start. The risk to fail. The risk to stand alone. You want success? You want freedom? Then you have to make peace with risk. You have to stop playing defense with your life. Because the truth is this, the biggest risk you'll ever take is the risk of doing nothing. Playing it safe has destroyed more dreams than taking a chance ever did. You don't win by waiting for guarantees. You win by moving while it's uncertain. You don't need all the answers, you need action. You don't need perfect timing, you need courage. You don't need approval, you need commitment. Every time you take a risk, something changes in you. Your mind expands. Your fear shrinks. Your world gets bigger. Risk is how you find out who you really are. When Johann Schweitzer jumped off his first cliff, he didn't know if the parachute would open. He didn't know if he would make it safely. But he took the leap. Because staying on the edge wasn't living. When Elon Musk started SpaceX, he risked everything. He failed again and again. People laughed at him, called him crazy. But he said, I'd rather die trying than never try at all. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Dreamers wait. Doers dare. And the world doesn't reward the ones who wait. It rewards the ones who risk. The truth is, risk is not your enemy. Risk is your teacher. It reveals your limits, then dares you to go beyond them. Every time you step out, you learn something. Sometimes you win. Sometimes you grow. But you never lose. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The ones who win in life are the ones who've learned to fail fast, fail forward, and fail better. Every risk, every mistake, every setback is sculpting you into the person you were meant to become. You've got to stop fearing the fall. Stop asking, what if it doesn't work? And start asking, what if it does? Because that one thought, that one shift, can change your entire life. You'll realize that every time you take a risk, you rewrite your story. You show the world, I'm not here to exist, I'm here to live. If you want a life full of meaning, if you want freedom, if you want power, then you have to start betting on you. You'll never know how strong you are until you step into uncertainty. You'll never know how brave you can be until you face what scares you most. You'll never discover new oceans if you're too afraid to lose sight of the shore. Listen to me. There will be moments when your heart is pounding, when your hands are shaking, when everything inside you screams, stop! But that's exactly when you go. That's when you leap. That's when you rise. Because courage is built in the moments that test you the most. So from now on, don't run from risk, chase it. Take the chance. Start the business. Make the call. Take the trip. Speak your truth. Because in the end, you'll regret the chances you didn't take. Far more than the ones you did. The goal is not to live safe. It's to live fully. The purpose is not to survive. It's to soar. Every time you take a risk, you honor your purpose. Every time you take a leap, you expand your life. So take the leap. Even if you're scared. Even if you don't know where you'll land. Because you might fall, but you might also fly. And if you never jump, you'll never know what you were capable of. Remember this, the safest place for your dreams is never safety. It's risk. That's where freedom lives. That's where greatness begins. That's where the fearless rise. This is it. This is where the journey changes. Because fear tried to control you. Doubt tried to break you. Failure tried to define you. But you're still here. Breathing. Standing. Fighting. And that means you were never defeated, only tested. You've walked through fire, and you're still standing. You've fallen, and you've risen again. That's what an unstoppable mind looks like. Now you have to live like it. No more half-effort. No more waiting for the right time. There is no right time, there is only now. The adventure mindset means this: you see every day as a mission. Every obstacle as a mountain to climb. Every failure as fuel for the next victory. You stop asking, "Can I do this?" and start declaring, "I will do this." You stop seeing risk as danger and start seeing it as the doorway to growth. That's the mindset of warriors, entrepreneurs, explorers, and champions. That's the mindset that built empires, broke limits, and changed the world. You weren't born to exist behind walls. You were born to run toward horizons. To feel the wind of freedom on your face. To wake up and say, "Today, I choose adventure over average." Adventure is not a place. It's a decision. It's the moment you say, "I'm done living small. I'm done chasing approval. I'm ready to live bold." You want to know what freedom really is? Freedom is when fear no longer decides your future. Freedom is when you fail and still keep moving. Freedom is when you don't need permission to be great. That's what the unstoppable mindset gives you. Total freedom. It's the power to look at life and say, "No matter what happens, I will rise." You will fall. You will hurt. You will struggle. But that's the price of greatness. Because you can't be unstoppable if you've never been stopped. Some of you have been living in neutral for too long. You've been waiting for motivation to arrive. But motivation doesn't show up, you create it. You create it when you act. You create it when you move. You create it when you step forward even when you're scared. That's what it means to be unstoppable. You don't wait for the perfect moment, you create it. You don't wait for opportunity, you become the opportunity. So now I ask you, what are you going to do with this life? Are you going to play it safe until it's over? Or are you going to live so loud that fear has no choice but to run from you? Because you get one chance, one life. And the worst thing you could ever do is leave this earth wondering, "What if I had tried?" I don't want you to wonder. I want you to know. I want you to fight. I want you to climb. I want you to fly. Every great adventure starts with a single step into the unknown. Take that step. Don't wait for confidence. Act until confidence comes. Don't wait for fear to disappear. Walk through it. Don't wait for permission. Give yourself the green light. Because the world is waiting for your story. The world is waiting for your voice. The world is waiting for you to live fearlessly. You are not ordinary. You are not average. You are limitless. Fear had its chance, and it lost. Doubt had its moment, and it failed. Now it's your turn to rise. To risk. To live. To lead. Because you are fearless. You are powerful. You are unstoppable.